Good morning, everybody. So today I'm planning to do some Q&A and do some testing of my project. Well, actually, I wanna how do I say this? I've built a test environment for ECS a few years ago, and I feel like I'm now at the point where I could use it for my current project. So let's see if I can get this back up and running with the latest entities version. It's probably gonna take a bit. But we will see. First, we have to import all the new stuff, obviously. And then we have to see what all these errors are about. That's gonna be a doozy. You can see all of this was done when this was still in experimental stages a long time ago. Actually, lucky that I still have this because I didn't find it in my GitHub. This did not seem to update. Let's try again. Hybrid entities graphics. Why can I not find the hybrid thing? Or is it just entities graphics now? I forgot. Okay, so let's see. ATG, what the heck is ATG? Realize on Unity entities, which is the Unity collections. So I need collections in here. This also needs collections. What's this? Abstract system uses a Roslyn source generator to generate backing partial. Okay, so this is using system base. Uses Roslyn source generator to generate a backing partial. Please add the part. Oh, okay, so oops. We just add the partial. A lot of this is probably obsolete. Entities for each lambda expression parameter rotation. Okay, so this also needs a partial rotation. Translation. This. Do they have different names now for the stuff? Unity, transforms, local transform. Is it now local transform? Position, scale, rotation, yeah. I think this now needs transform. Oh, this is also old. I don't think you can do it like this anymore. Okay. Same thing here. Lots of old code. System not implemented. I also have this disable auto creation everywhere. But I think there should be a better way to do this JetBrains annotations. What is the error? Oh, this needs also Unity collections. Okay, we're missing things here. Oops. Collections. Component system gatekeeper. Component system. World get existing system. Okay, I think component system is no longer a thing. I used to have lots of helper methods because the interface changed constantly. I convert game object to entity. Okay, so this should be like a iBaker. Can we? No, not Baker. Baker. Yeah, I think that was the thing. What the frick? Let me check this. Maybe I could just comment this out for the time being. What else? Component system. This is for events. Component data collection. Rotation, translation. New system not implemented. Another one of these. Component system. So all of this should now be I system. Partial struct. Helpful. Public void on create ref state something. System state. System state. Same here on update. State entity manager. Something like this. Okay, now it seems like we can compile or not. Game object conversion settings. I think this is probably also obsolete. Event emitter. Component data utility command buffer. Command buffer add component data. Okay, this is also obsolete, I want to say. System setup. System setup. Is this system setup base? Is still a thing? Oh no, that was a custom. Probably not necessary anymore. Remove system. I'm just gonna comment everything out. And then we go from there. Parenting utility. Oh yeah, this was for back in the day when the entities didn't have an inbuilt parenting mechanism. Probably not needed anymore. Component data utility. Okay, yes. But wait, there's more. And what's the error? Oh, relies on entities. So we need collections. Entities for each. So this was my A-star implementation. This needs burst. Apply force system. Apply force. Already contains a definition for A-star. I think I'm gonna delete this A-star. Oops. Not implemented. field systems. So much stuff I implemented just for testing everything. What's the problem here? We need Unity burst. Burst. Complexity. Collections. Already contains a definition for collision resolver system. What? Collision resolver system. This needs a partial. Generate authoring component attribute. Oh. Yeah, this was actually a helpful annotation. I don't know why they took that out. It used to auto-generate a mono behavior, which was able to configure component data. That was pretty helpful, actually. Wraparound system setup. B behavior. B creation. Oh boy. I will have to fix at least one of these example projects to make sure everything works. P animation. The B thing was actually quite fun to watch. Move, drop. Rotate. Scale. How many systems do I have? Oh no. Lots of systems, lots of components. This also needs collections. These collections. Mm-hmm. Translation is no longer a thing. These resources carrier. Collected resource updater. Okay, so the biggest issue is that the translation component no longer exists. That's like half of all the errors references to the translation. Mm-hmm. Oh, now we're actually approaching the test classes. That is what I'm actually interested in. Load from scene. Can we compile? Yes, do it. No, we cannot. Assembly resolver. This also needs collections. ATG. I don't know what ATG stands for. What did I do? And why? This also needs collections. Tests. Collections. Translation is no longer a thing. Test system 1. Is this allocate tender collections? Okay, now we're actually at the tests, so we should be almost through with all the errors. Maybe. Component system. This is a test for checking that systems are put into the correct groups. And calls to non-static method. Calls to non-static method. Check my group. Licensing. Yeah, that's definitely no longer needed. That was bullshit anyway. Let's just delete all of that. Partial struct. Everything is always simple as long as you don't have to worry about the business side of things. as soon as you get business involved, things get complicated. Unity entities, needs collections. Here. A license helper does not exist, yeah. I vaguely remember that I was super annoyed when I had to implement all this licensing stuff. So freaking unnecessary. At least in my opinion. Assembly asset tree element. Okay, this also needs collections. How many assemblies did I make? Holy crap. Already contains a definition for erroneous system. Erroneous system. What? Oh, I system partial struct. That was just code generation error. Test tracked entity system. Always update system. Deprecated. Systems now always update by default. Use require matching queries for update. Require matching queries for update. Use require matching queries for update to force the system to skip calling on updated if every entity query in the system is empty. That is actually super helpful. Partial struct. And there's more. Okay, so this is not just tests. Throw new system not implemented exception. Now we should be almost done. Okay. That might be it. For some reason, my freaking neck hurts today. That is what you get for getting old. So actually, while this is loading, let's go back here. And there's one system, actually two systems, where I need exactly this require matching queries for update. Require matching queries for update. Skip calling on update if every entity query in the system is empty. So I guess there's not really any documentation here. But my guess is that it's referring to just everything that's in the system, every query. So when I add this, the system should only execute when there is actually an event. Let's see, entities, systems. So I start this, update. What was the name? Voxel edit system. Voxel edit system. Okay, so this is not executing at all. When I add stuff, it's still not being executed. Even though there should now be yeah, entities that match the thing. Okay. Not super helpful. Require matching queries for update. It doesn't even specify how I should use this. To force the system to skip calling on update if every entity query in the system is empty. See also should run system reports whether the system satisfies the criteria to update. This function is used internally to determine whether the system's onUpdate function can be skipped. If a system calls require for update or require for update entity query onCreated will only update if all of its required components exist, and required queries match existing chunks. This check uses is empty ignore filter, so the queries may still be empty if they use filters or enableable components. If a system has the require matching queries for update attribute, it will update if any entity query it uses match existing chunks. This check also uses is empty ignore filter, so all queries may still be empty if they use filters. Note other factors may prevent a system from updating even if this message returns true. For example, a system will not be updated if its enabled property is false. What's confusing to me is this: if any entity query it uses match existing chunks. If a system has the matches existing chunks. Require for update. It's a query that must match entities for the system to run. You can add multiple required queries to a system. All of them must match at least one entity for the system to run. Any queries added through require for update override or other queries cached by the system. In other words, if any required query does not find matching entities, the update is skipped even if another query created for the system either explicitly or implicitly does match entities and vice versa. Okay. That makes sense. So you're saying what I should do is say require for update. Component system base. Require for update this and not this. Okay. That works. So I would assume that saves time over this. Doing this to entity array by don't do this, then it should execute every frame. And yeah, it's like 0.00, but not executing at all would still be faster. Okay, so that's interesting. Also, I shouldn't be doing for each. Right, now I close the thing. Let's see. I should do a normal for loop. Okay, so I can do the same thing for a couple systems here. This. And also the node merge system. And then I don't have to do this, which is pretty cool. Also, what about my A star system? This A star system. I cannot A star. Why can I not find it? I find voxel A star. Should be voxel A star system though. So this has no queries, but this works with a job. I think I will not need it there. Okay, this still works. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so this compiled. Because I commented out everything. We still have some errors here. Attractor is missing extension of native class. What? It's missing the class attribute extension of native class? What? What are you saying? Okay. So let's see. Can I find my window test editor? Test overview. Okay. This looks somewhat familiar. Call method fail test. So if I run this, I expect to get tons of errors. Gain self-tests. Okay, so I guess I will try to fix the self-tests first. Object reference, not set. Test world on exception args world. Okay, so first thing, what we should do, Unity engines, assertions. I don't understand why they have now two assert classes. Unity assertions and Unity engine assertions. It makes no sense. Assert is not null args. Okay, so something is null in here. We do have arguments, but we don't have a world. Try in a test world. Ah, okay, so this can be null. Was failing to handle the exception. Okay, so now I get my X call method fail test. Try in a test world. Call method fail test filled with exception, not implemented exception. The method or operation is not implemented. Test runner log systems. Test runner 74. Ah, okay, so gotta fix my logging apparently. String builder. systems. Component system group. World systems. For each component system base. This does not implement the I system. World systems. List of all managed systems. So is there another one with unmanaged systems? Unmanaged systems. System handle. Retrieve an area of all systems in this world, both unmanaged and managed. Okay. That sounds like the thing we want. The world systems array seems to store every subsystem of system groups as well, but in a weird order. We want only once and in the correct order, so we take them from the groups. Okay, so log system. System handle. System get type name. Have anything else that we should log here? System update. This will not work. This will only print system handle. Update. So that means if we have unmanaged systems, there's no way to... Why are you not giving me Unity collections allocator manager? Temp. There's no way to get the name. Equals hash code type. Let's try this. No, not implemented exception. Yeah, now this is all just system handle, which is not helpful. Systems in this test. There really nothing here? Huh. Hey Julian, what's up? Gott zum Gruße. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Hope everything's going fine. How's your game jam? So I can... Game jam is very nice. I overslept. Ah. Shit happens. And have you decided on a project, or what's the game jam about anyway? Is there a topic? Unmanaged. Yeah, another way to get bottleneck. Oh. Of course, I came up with a bottle named Neck. Okay. And I guess the game is about choking the bottle. And we're totally not doing this. Our resolve system. Maybe this gives me a type system. It was supposed to have limited resources, X jumps, and speed boost. Yeah, that makes sense. But when I think of bottlenecks, I think about optimization. I guess all optimization problems are really about bottlenecks. In that sense, a game where you have a limited amount of resources is also an optimization problem. X jumps and speed boosts, I see. So if we had a platformer and you'd have to beat a level with like 10 jumps or something. We are now a bottle which loses water but also needs water to solve riddles. Oh, that sounds like an interesting concept. So like with every step you lose a bit of water. And there are mechanics where you use water to unlock the next part of the puzzle. And if you're out of water, you lose. That sounds like a very interesting concept. Not gonna lie. Sounds reminds me of Baba Is You. You can choose to slide, but that makes you lose more water. Oh. That sounds quite interesting. Do you go 2D or 3D? System state contains raw entity systems and used by unmanaged systems, as well as managed systems. Is there a way to get the name, debug name? It's a 2D side scroller with. Whose project are you reviewing? Currently none. I'm just working on my own stuff, waiting to see if someone shows up who needs help. I've pulled out a very old project of mine where I implemented a test environment for Unity ECS. And I'm trying to bring it up to the latest version. Because in my current project, I feel like I could really use a test system. Wanted to mobilize some more students, but they wanted to sleep longer. Yeah, 10 o'clock is too early, apparently. Ref systems. But yeah, I can keep myself busy. Okay, so now we got the systems. For some reason, it's all black. What I'm actually currently working on in my private time, this little voxel engine here. And I can currently finally edit stuff. I was able to edit the world before, but you can see I have all these rectangles on top, which are used for pathfinding. And this past week I was working on updating the rectangles whenever the world changes. And there were many cases to consider. So for the pathfinding, the cool thing about this is when I have a big rectangle, then the pathfinding is super simple because I can just, if my start is in this rectangle, my goal is in this rectangle, then I know I can just walk in a straight line. And when I have obstructions, then the calculation of the path is still pretty simple. Because if I start here in this rectangle, then I know, okay, I have two options. I want to go here. And then from here I have one option. From here I have one option, which is much faster than just looking from this tile to all neighboring tiles to all neighboring tiles. And that actually improves the pathfinding speed by a factor of like 1,000 or something. So pretty good optimization. Okay, I think for now this is good enough. What else do we have? Finished with exception, not implemented exception in test action execution data. But actually there's one bug in my code which I wasn't able to reproduce, which is why I'm now looking into my test environment, which I made a long time ago. And see if I can bring this back up to speed. Okay, blob asset store is a struct. This can never be null. Okay. Yeah, well, and I saw that bug. If you don't find it, I will tell you. Okay, thank you. I had like a couple of bugs where I just was clicking around and taking. Oh, here it is. Okay. So if I found a way to reliably reproduce this, that would be awesome. But currently I have no idea how this happens. I think just now I was only removing stuff. Oh, here it is again. No, that's something else. You misclicked, I didn't click on a block. Well, no, these are two different things. Yeah, the raycast is a little buggy. That is out of the question. Like if I do this, but I know that that's not the bug that I'm looking for. That's a known issue. The bug that I'm actually looking for is, well, not quite happening. No, that's also not it. Put stuff back in. Ah, here it is. Argument exception. The entity does not exist, as it was previously destroyed by the system, which shouldn't happen. So this guy right here was the error. You recycle the blocks? Well, not really. There's not really any recycling you need to do in ECS, because all the ECS entities are super lightweight. So they are turned on and off. Also no. So the way that it works, we just have this right here. There's a list of entities which represent the voxels at the top, everything that you can walk on. And when I remove this, then the one on top gets deleted and a new entity is created below that. So there's actually two layers of this. We have the mesh, which is this guy. This is just a simple mono behavior, but all the pathfinding is inside this ECS. So the way you have to think about the voxels in the ECS is like a graph. And when a node in that graph is deleted, I just completely remove it. But it seems like one of the references at some point doesn't get removed properly. So every node knows its neighbors. And we also have a reference to the containing rectangle. So the nodes are all of this. And they have neighbors, but they all belong to the same rectangle. And since everything is cross-referenced, like all the nodes know all of their neighbors and the nodes know their containing rectangle, somewhere in there, when I delete something, I fail to delete a reference to that thing. And I don't know how or what or where. And I can't reproduce it like in a set amount of steps. Because when I do shit like this, it works just fine. So there's some combination of things that leads to that error. But I don't know what it is. Which is why I would like to write a test. Oh, that was... No. Oh, no. I added one here. That was a raycasting issue. So yeah. Okay, so this already exists. Okay, so that was not the error. Does the game keep running after the bug appears? Well, it would to some extent, yeah. But the graph would be broken. So pathfinding would not work anymore. And I assume it's got something to do with the merging. But I don't know. Okay, here it is again. The entity does not exist. So here it's trying to merge two rectangles together. And we're trying to get all the neighbors from the rectangle that we're deleting and add it to the new bigger rectangle. But the neighbor of that rectangle that we're deleting doesn't exist anymore. So can I select this? I do this. No, don't know. Huh. Oh. There it is. It's for sure that the entity is a rectangle, or is the expression used somewhere else? Yeah, but it's definitely a rectangle. Okay, so that seemed somewhat so I did something like this. And I remove it again. Put it back in. No. Hmm. Do a circle? A circle? How would I even do a circle? Let the middle stay. And delete it last? Oops. What are you talking about? Oh, here we have the error again. It was previously destroyed. There was just a way to reliably do this. Sort of a circle. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see if I can do this again. What did I do? I did something like this. And deleted these. And then the middle, like this. I mean, delete the 8 outer blocks of a 3x3 area and then fill one. So now I did. Oh, I can reproduce it. It's a like long way, but it works. So if I just do this, for instance, and then I do this, no, now it works. Ah, it's a very elusive bug. This works if I do it like this. Yeah, the other blocks remove the 4 cornerstones, yeah. But it's super specific. So I do this, then I delete the inside, do this, remove these, and then I put this back in, and then this block gives the air. You're recording, right? Yeah, I am recording. Well, now I have steps to reproduce it. Now it would be interesting to know if there's a... Oh, wow. No, this already has an error. What the fuck? Let's see. Can I... find out what I did here? I changed the order, yeah. Somehow I did. But I'm not sure how. Hmm. 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 Okay, so I don't have to put stuff back in. Now it works. So there's a specific order. When I put this in, now this works again. What the frick? Yeah. I just looked for the replay, but Twitch doesn't want to let me go back while I'm still streaming, which is a bit annoying. Mm-hmm. How does Twitch still not have a rewind? You know why? I also cannot download while I'm still live. Then your rewind worked out for YouTube. But I mean, YouTube streaming has a rewind function, which is super helpful. Oh well, in any case, oops, wrong button. I want to go back here. Let's see if I can get this to work. Because if I want to continue my project, I would really like to have some proper testing in place. And I'm kind of reaching the point where there's enough complexity that some tests would really be helpful. Oh, thanks for the follow. World log execution helper, system type, get existing system. Oh, this is a system handle. System enabled. World unmanaged. Resolve system. Not resolve with state ref. Enabled is this. System handle. System state. So the goal is to implement testing so you know which blocks it tries to delete or merge. Well, yeah, essentially. The point, the real point is that with ECS, testing is actually very simple. It's just not supported by Unity. They didn't think to implement a test system for ECS. But the nice thing about ECS is that your entire game state is basically in these entities. And you have systems and all the data these systems need is in those entities. Which means that all systems are by default testable. So you never have to worry about testability, because everything you can do in the systems is like you read entities and you write to entities. So those entities are your only dependency. Which means if you have a test environment that just lets you set up entities in a certain way, then you just have to let your systems run for however long you need. And then you know if your systems work or not, which is pretty neat. So there's really no reason to not have tests when you're using ECS. Other than the fact that Unity itself doesn't seem to believe in the power of testing, which is like, what the fuck are we even doing? And if it doesn't work out, you can still watch the replay. Well, I can use the replay to create my test. But then whenever I change something, I just have to press a button and I see, okay, stuff still works or it doesn't. Call method on system execution. It's called unit testing, not Unity testing. Okay. It was very nice when Unity finally had the idea of implementing a test runner. But man, they really could up their game a little bit. This fails, it's due to incorrect test execution, not tested up, so it should throw an exception. Okay, system. Okay, what are we trying to do here? Call method on system executor. I'm looking forward to the solution. I'll check the replay. For now, I'll start working on our game. Yeah. You do that. Have fun with your game jam. With the bottle named Nick. Method. Get method data. Okay, I have no idea what I'm trying to do here. Test action execution data typed. I'm trying to find a method. Method name. Okay. This worked. Something worked. And something didn't. Call method failed test success. Oh, okay. So this is expecting a fail. So that's why that works. Null ref in native parallel hash map. Test world. Execution handler. Blob asset store. Dispose. Because I guess. Oh, and blob asset store is a struct. Null reference exception. Trying to dispose the blob asset store. And that fails. Blob asset store is created. Okay. So first test is fixed. I really should do something about this lock. Test runner. State. Can we find the group or something? Not really. Maybe system? No, this has practically nothing. World. Okay, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Next test. Correct group test. Also, why is this color red thing not working? But the color green works, huh? Lock systems, string builder. Logger. Correct group test finished with target invocation exception. System not implemented exception. Check my group system too. Okay. So this doesn't need an update. Public on create ref system state. Check my group initialization group instance world. Yeah, so that doesn't work anymore. Okay, and this is my test editor. Oh, damn. There's so many windows. Okay, so we have these two systems. Lock. Block encapsulates any number of test actions which are executed with respect to the block's time. The default block has no additional functionality. Set systems enabled, disabled for this block. Okay, call method on a system that is used by this test. We want to check the group. I don't think we need this. Check my group system. Because I don't want this disable auto creation tag on everything. let's delete this. Also, I should commit. Okay, what else do we have? Add component. Unity transforms translation. Test action add component. Could not load type. Unity transforms translation. Oh. Okay. So this test definition is broken because we don't have translation anymore. Yeah. So instead, let's use transform. Local transform. Transform. Local transform. S value. Let's try 1, 2, 3. Leave the rotation alone. Equals 1, 2, 3. Not implemented. Component data utility. Don't think I need this anymore. Tracked entity accessor. $52. Get component data. Yeah. I'll just have to entity manager get component data of E. Let's see. Tracked entity component data. But this is No, this is just an unsafe get, so we expect this to be there. Or do we find tracked entities? Entity manager, tracked entities, ID. Yeah, this is all the tracked entities, and we want to find the one with this ID. We say this. Okay. Advocation exception not implemented. Again, this. I should probably just delete this guy. Oops. Component data copier. Source manager, get component data T of source entity T. Component data. This has to be unmanaged. This has to be unmanaged. Same thing here. Execution data, entity manager, get component data, tracked. Of entity. Event emitter has managed field, which is not allowed. Okay. Okay, what else do we have? Component data utility. We're coming from test execution helper methods. Components. As component. I think there's also a entity manager as component, yeah. Entity component type. We can use this instead. Component. Entity manager has component. Okay, we don't need this. We don't need that. Add or set component data. Entity manager has component T and team manager has component this has to be unmanaged. Add component. Do I need this? Not really. Entity manager has component T unmanaged. Add component data. It's unnecessary. Just say entity manager add component data. Add component not present. As component type entity manager component entity type add component This also seems unnecessary. Destination manager. Component data. Destination entity T. Shared component. Don't know. Let's leave that for now. Entity manager, set component data, entity data. Unmanaged. Data entity manager. This component. Okay. Okay, we still failed with test runner. Oh, that's not the correct thing. Component data utility. $39 at component data. Ah. Okay. I'm not sure why I needed this. Definitely some reflection stuff. Yeah. And component data with reflection. Where do I use this? Only here. And I want to add component data. Object. Okay. Component data. Should be able to just say entity manager, add component data, entity comp. Just to be unmanaged. Okay, so I'll have to say type of entity manager. Oh. No, you know what? In this case, I think it's actually better to have a wrapper method like this. So let's just bring this back. Component data utility. What the fuck? Returned repository is not owned by current user? Are you fucking kidding me? Add component data. Just this. Managed. Hmm? Huh? What the fuck? What's missing? Comma expected? Am I drunk? Are we missing something? Obviously. But what? Public static void. Add component data T, entity manager, entity T. It's not abstract. Huh? Oh, this fucking thing. The heck? Okay. And this. Still errors. Component data utility 41. Oh, set component data. We also need set component data. Okay. Run. Now the red works. What the fuck? Finished with type failure. Could not find component. Unity transforms. Local transform. Okay. So the component adding didn't work. Could not find component executing has value. Test runner. Entity object. We'll have to find test value, test action. Test action has value. This guy. Components. Get, remove. Okay, so this is the definition. Test action executors. Has value executor. Execute. Meta component. Okay, this is the one that fails. Meta component. Component type, local transform. Object, get component. System type. Component null. Get component. Component type, local transform. Get component data, entity manager, entity. Entity is track component data. Is this not my local transform? Position rotation. Should we just go in here? Thank you. Component type, local transform. Get component data. Type. Get manage type. What? Huh. This seems kind of unnecessary. Can't I just say data entity manager get component? Get component. Or and this just checks if we have the component. So data entity manager has component entity component type. Oh. This. This should just do it, no? Oh, meta component executor. Oh, okay. We also need the. We also have to get the component data. Get component data entity meta component type. No, this is just component. Get component data. Oh, this only works with generic, okay. Interesting. Entity manager, get component data. Uh-huh. Get component. S component can work with just the type. Weird. Component data utility, get component data. Okay, let's see if this works. That works. Okay, now we have to get component data utility. This entity manager. Right. component data. Object. Component type. And I should just have to do method info. Function get component data, make generate method type. Function invoke. Just do this? Question mark. Entity manager data. Right. Get component data like this. Apply modifiers. This is not implemented. This is just unmanaged. It should also be unmanaged, probably. Just replace all the struct with unmanaged. Yeah, this is also unmanaged. Unmanaged. Come on. Run. Okay. So that works. That works. Could not load type. Okay, I'll have to change all of this to transform, local transform. That works. That works. Add in default init. Create entity. A local transform. Local transform. That works. Log entity at component data. Local transform. At component data test. Okay, so all of that seems good. Okay, there's still a lot of stuff. Create from prefab. Create entity from prefab. This value. Local transform. Z 10. Oh, wait, that's just here. Equals x is 0, y is w. Oh. Exception value was 9. Serializable system type. Okay. Something in here. Actions. Action types. Delete this. Finished with exception. Test execution utility 17. Okay. Not implemented. Create entity. That was just this. And transform components. Do I even need this? Apparently not. Convert and destroy. Okay, so this is obsolete, yeah. From world. Convert. Okay.